Well, I pulled this bugger in to do a little bit of work. Splitting her up a bit. Gonna be making a console for it. I've noticed that my wipers kind of flip-flop. So I've added these little spring tensioners because I guess the springs are not strong enough inside there. And then my cameras, I didn't dig them over here. So I've relocated them. They're actually under the visor now. You can see it sitting there. So I get a better view. It actually does show like this angle of the truck. So it's actually, they're useful now. The other way they shined out, I got a good view from here to here or whatever, but you had no depth perception, like you had no idea where you were. So I changed that around. Now, when it's on, you actually see a pretty good area on both sides. And then I threw this camera, this is the one I actually had in the back originally, but I noticed everything I was looking at was backwards. So it's kind of screwed me up. Like for example, right here, you see my shop doors right there, but it was on the other side. It was like a rear view camera, but it went forward. I don't know. I don't explain it, but it did what it did there. So now it looks much better. So, and then these, you know, at least the guy's got a better idea what you're looking at. I don't see any of this, so that's at least gives me some perspective of what's going on in this corner of the truck. Here I can kind of look up and over and see, but if you split it up, which one is it? I look over here, I can see just the tip of my headlight, but whatever. It's there. It sort of helps. For the most part, I use the mirror portion of it, I think. Because my mirror works here, but I don't see the horizon. I could do it, but I got to keep dropping my mirror, and I'm not about to screw my visibility around, so I usually just leave on that one, and then I kind of use it as a backup, like a rear view mirror. Anyways, I'm working on a console. I picked up an old ammo can, which is sitting over there. And it sits just below the seat, so it's nice. And I don't need it as an armrest, but I have it as a storage. So I'm gonna bolt down to the floor. And I'd be able to put some cup holders in it. So that's a win. What I'm working on right now, though, is I had all my gauges working, but my temp gauge was never working right. So I've shorted out the sender, and then the gauge kind of does its thing. So I know the gauge itself is good. The sender itself was actually toast. I don't know what it is or where it is. So I have a few. I'm thinking this is the style I have in it. So I'm going to test this to see if this runs within the sweep. Well, hopefully I can find out. My goal, what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to ground this, touch this to my other sender. I am boiling some water right now. So my idea is I'm going to drop it in there, and whatever temperature that thing says it is at, which I'm hoping whatever the water boils at, let's pretend it's 180, 160. I'll see what my gauge is sitting, and at least I'll know what operating temp should be. That's kind of my goal. But anyways, I'm going to wait for this to boil, and then I'll show you how I go about doing this. Or how I'm going to do it. While I am waiting for the water to boil, you remember I built that, and that access panel is supposed to come off, but it's not very convenient. It's actually a lot of work to take off. It's pretty much I'm only doing it in an emergency, like, you know, there's something really wrong with the motor. So what I have done is I've made myself an access panel to get at my sender in there. I need to make it a little bit bigger, I think, though. But anyways, for now what I'm doing is I've just tapped onto the probe. So this is where, if I ground this out, my gauge will go on. I think it's right there. You can see my temp. But if you oh no, you can't. Hold on. All right. Let's get you there. Okay. So right now it's well, it's coming down, but if you just short the sender out, you'll see it goes up. So you know the gauge is good. So that's a good thing. So I didn't totally put in a useless dash there. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I've grounded out this sender. I don't know, I just keep senders for some reason. I tried using a Pedenci. I'm gonna put the name of it up here because I can't say it. A pedenciometer or something. I tried using that, failed. So I'm gonna do what I know. I'm gonna ground this. I'm going to put the top side on top. I'm boiling water. I have a little thermometer in there. Whatever temperature it's at, I'm gonna drop this sucker down. If that's in the operating range, hopefully that thing just stays in the middle about where it should be. Golden. And then I'll do a messy way of pulling that out, doing the old switcheroo super quick, and hopefully lose minimal fluid. That's the goal. Anyways, hopefully my water should be just about boiled. Okay, kettle has boiled. It's at a balmy, just about 220. So this will probably be on the hot side here. I'll keep this in to keep my temperature to do a reference, but whoops, bombs away. Come on. Okie dokie. What temperature are we at still? Still 220. Let's see what my gauge says. No, we're about 210. 210, 205. So I'm just waiting for my dash to stabilize here. Right now she's about what I feel is operating temp, but so I don't know what overly hot would be. If I felt the middle of the gauge would be it's still sitting at 210, 205. She's still climbing a bit. I figure it would have stabilized by now. She's slowly calming down. Yeah, it's kind of hovering there. I think that's kind of acceptable. I think I'm going to use it. Should work. There's my setup. I just pulled my thermometer up. But all right, anyways. Let's do the old switcheroo. See how much of a mess I make. So that's spewed out. I wasn't ready for that. I thought it would leak, but I didn't think it would like jet into the cab, so whatever. We did a little bit of a citrus cleaner, get rid of all the antifreezy stuff. All I gotta do is I had this plug from the cabs, so I just got to trim this thing up a little bit so that fits in there better, and redo the insulation stuff over it, the sound deadening, and we should be good to go. And now we're gonna go from an upgrade from my cup holders to some in the console I'm gonna make here. So let's do that. Okie doke. So hit up the old Princess Auto, got me one of the bigger ammo cans, which comes just under my seat, which is perfect. So the idea is I want to have it that, well, this can lock it down, which I'm cool with that. I want to be able to lift it, but it there's this bracket here is kind of in the way, so no biggie, we'll just cut that off. I want to zap this one in place so I can basically use it as a hinge, the steel part. And then after that's done, I want to put 2 cup holders in here. So that should be as easy as just a hole saw, and we'll find some random piece of pipe and an extra large coffee. As long as 2 of them fit in there, we are going to be golden. So we'll leave that for reference. I'll pop this, take this off. We got to get rid of this lip, so I'm just going to zip cut that off and tack weld that, see how she fits. If she's good, we move on to stabbing some holes in it for some cup holders, and yeah, then we can mount her in the truck. Anyways, first things first, let's cut these off. Stage 1 done. So you can see I'm using the latch on the other side as my hinge. So that goes down. I'll be able to stab it in here, lock it. So it works good. Back here we just have a couple welds, so you can't actually lift on this anymore, but I'm just using the bracketry as my hinge. So I'll be able to spritz a little paint on there. So now we just got to boom, hole saw a couple holes in there. I gotta have enough room for 2 coffees. That's the big one. That's the big thing for me. Boom, boom, boom. Okie doke. See what we got for hole saws. Well, there we go. Paint's almost dry, so means we should drop a cup in it, right? Anyways, hits the bottom. I sealed up the bottom. I don't want, if you spill, oh, hold on, let me open this up. Once she's bolted to the floor, this will be easier. There. Once she's bolted to the floor, I'll be able to just snap this thing up and no big deal. But anyways, yeah. So, like, I can open all the way up. It kind of hinges, does its thing, which, whatever, is fine. I just seam sealed around here, because I only tacked it, but I mean, they're cup holders, so who cares? But if I spill something, I don't really want it dribbling inside of here, so. Anyways, we just got to screw this in. Oop, need to put a little bit of paint on there. Give that a little spritz. Golden. Yeah, now we can just throw it in the truck and enjoy cup holders. I don't know why that's a big deal. I guess it's a big deal because I have nowhere to put them. You have to kind of carry it in your lap or on that crappy tray that I got. Anyways, I'll put it in the truck and I'll show you what it looks like. All I'm going to do is just have a couple self-tappers down the middle to hold her in, so not any point really filming and showing you that. But. Well, there we go. One, two. Good to go. Armrest down. If you need into it, just grab it. There we go. Got stuff in there. And fits the theme of the truck. Not bad, eh? Perfect. So now I can go out with the tray, out with the old, good new. Probably should clean the floor, eh? Oh, do you approve? Do you approve? No, you can't come in. Not right now, buddy. Not right now. All right. What does this truck need? You know what it needs? It needs armrests. It's kind of a pain always ripping on the handle to slam the doors shut, so I think that is my plan here. Try to get me some armrests in here. Let's go hunt around the yard and see what I got. Well, look. Let's see. Let's start at the worst of the worst. I don't need fancy armrests, but I do want some. I have to spot one right there. I'm pretty sure it's okay to take from this car. Well, there's two. There's none in the back. But that's alright. Let's pull these ones and at least get some in the front doors for now. I'll hunt around. And it's even got, not perfect, but they'll be good for the car. Or for the truck, I mean. Oh, I think I brought what I need. Should be as simple as that. Alright, let me get those off and I'll bring them over to my truck. Yeah, we got our armrests. I also did notice that these this car's got laminate glass in it. You can tell by the goop in the middle, so you can actually cut these. So I might steal the back glass out of here, or some of the glass, if it pops out with the, well, maybe these ones, because they'll be easier to get out. Anyways, if I can pop those out, I'd be able to redo my vent windows on my big truck there. Anyways, oh, other funny side note, there's no roof on this, but it was cut. It was damaged, but most of it was cut off for that blue Chevy that's in the shop, that pickup truck. I actually used the roof skin off of here to redo the chop top on that truck because it was super, super rough. And between the two, it kind of made a nice new lid for it. Anyways, let's go get these on my truck there. All right, I think we're gonna build us a glove box. We don't have a glove box, but we may as well make it a big glove box nonetheless. So we can go about yay far, so let's go about 8 inches deep, and I think from side to side, what is our measurement there? Side to side, 10.5, and 5 inches. So let's figure this out, and then start cut some sheet metal up, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a simple sheet metal one, and we will have the notch out, I guess, for the hinges. Should tighten those ones up. All right. I never calculated for the glove box is actually the opening smaller on the one side. So I just trimmed off this edge. I'm just going to trim off the excess in the back here with the shear quick, and then try to do a test fit and see if it goes. Well, let's see how close we are. It's kinda there. I'll have to see if I can fit it up from behind, which is kind of hard to do with one hand, so let me fiddle with it a bit and then I'll bring it right back. Okay, we're getting kind of close. Oh, this is super hard to do. I may have made it a little bit too wide, because you can see the one side there. She doesn't fit exactly where I want, but I do have to notch around for these hinges so I can kind of tuck them in underneath. So I'm gonna pop this out, and oh, that went easier than I thought. That was easier than putting it in. But we can, I'm gonna spot weld these things up, and you can kind of see my marks there. I'm gonna cut those out. The goal is I kind of want them to tuck in behind these on either side, and then underneath this tray, then I can just run a couple screws on it and hold everything in place. Well, there you have it. One very simple glove box. I had to modify it a little bit, but mostly just down on the openings. I had to open up around the hinges a little more, and I had to drop it for the one side. I don't think I had to drop it as much as I did, but regardless, there's I can store stuff now. So cool. That's another thing off the list. Well, I guess that's where I'll leave this one. Yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.